All right. Just coming out here to show my support for Ron Paul. I feel like he is getting way messed around by the media. Um, the public has stood up and showed their support time again. They keep showing it. The media keeps denying Ron Paul even exists in this race. Um, I think what people need to do is get out on YouTube, get out on Google, look up the facts, look up there's media reports that are released once and never aired again. People record them, they post them on YouTube, they post them on the internet. There's a lot of different polls you can look up. I've posted polls like how many videos each candidate has on YouTube. Um, the numbers are ridiculous. For the media to say that Ron Paul doesn't even stand a chance, that it's a two-person race between Rick Santorum and Mitt Romney, that is complete craziness. Ron Paul is the answer. He's the only thing that is going to save our country. If anybody's got any questions or any concerns about any information that they're not receiving about Ron Paul or any of the other candidates, I'll be more than glad to research the information and post it here on my website or my YouTube page, whatever you call it. Um, I'm just researching everything. I'm only posting, some stuff. It takes a long time to download some of these files, but yeah, I just like to let everybody know Ron Paul is winning the delegates. I believe he's winning the vote too, but I think that's being withheld from the public. I know when I personally went in to vote here in Michigan, I placed my form in the little machine that they had us place our forms in, and you slid your form up, and it would grab your form and take your form. But I noticed one thing that there was no movement on the counter there on the screen for the numbers, but they said that it was all counted up and it would all be recounted more than once at the end of the night. So um, I think that's just crazy. I think it should be a verbal count or a written account or something. There should be some sort of record other than this computerized system that I think can be made fraudulent. I don't know who made the system. I don't know whose best interest it has in mind. I know that there's a lot of things that go on in this country that are for the best interest of those who have money and who pay for their best interest. And then there's guys who don't have all that money that might have your best interest in mind and get shunned out by the media. Um, I'm just here to let everybody know that Ron Paul is doing very well in the delegate count. Our troops support Ron Paul, as you can see on some of my videos here. Um, Ron Paul has, I think, 70 or 80% of the financial backing from troops. Um, the other 20 or 30% is spread out between the other five or four people, whatever it was. Um, the numbers don't lie. Our troops are telling us to vote for Ron Paul. They know what's going on. They're the ones being sent over there, going to war, standing up for our freedom. Um, freedom, not that we really have much here right now, with our president passing laws that he could permanently detain American citizens in prison in America and overseas. That they can do pretty much whatever they want, and that's all there is to it. And if we don't like it, then we could be considered enemy combatants or domestic terrorists, whatever terminology they use. I just think it's ridiculous. This is supposed to be land of the free, home of the brave. Uh, I feel like people are getting lazy. I don't feel like Americans are not brave. I feel like we are brave to an extent. There's a lot of the population that's been dumbed down and taught not to stand up for your rights. that has been taught to just go with the flow, to do what you're told. I don't agree with it. I think we need to stand up for our rights. We need to exercise them like they're muscles. If we don't exercise our rights, I feel like they're not going to be around long. I can see that my rights have been being violated on numerous occasions. Um, I'm now approaching 30 years old this week, this coming up week, and I just don't want my children to grow up in a society without freedom. I think that this is a huge issue. I think that our next president really, it matters. It's not like a lot of these guys. Oh well, it doesn't matter. My vote doesn't count. Your vote counts. And if it doesn't count, that's where we need to stand up and say, okay, well, something's not right. We all, if whoever votes for Ron Paul, if he gets the majority of the population's vote, and the media and everybody lies and says, "Oh no, he didn't win," and we all know different. We need to all network and we need to talk to people. If people don't know what Ron Paul stands for and what he's about, explain it to them. Show them some videos. Show them some statistics. Ron Paul talks about ending the federal government, ending the FBI, the CIA, um, stopping the welfare and police state. Me personally, I'm on welfare. I collect food stamps to help support my family right now. Yeah, so some of you guys would call me a low life, but that's what I've got to do to make sure that my kids have a meal on their plate right now. I'm without work. Um, but I still stand up and support Ron Paul. I think that he stands up for our best interests, and I think you guys need to look at the big picture. What's the point in keeping a system around that is just putting the whole country in debt, and it's not even going to exist when our kids are old. The government wants our kids to pay Social Security as they start work and start making income. They want to pay these taxes, but by the time they're 60, 65, it's not going to exist. It's going to be you can tell by its record that all it's doing is draining the economy. Um, there's got to be other things in place. We need to take our money that we're spending overseas. We're spending billions and trillions of dollars overseas on these so-called what would you call it? On these interests. Um, we're saying that it's in our best interest to make these people see our points of view and force them to live according to our rules and regulations. I don't agree with it. We have America right here, folks. This is America. China's not America. Japan, no. Russia, Israel, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, those are not America. They may have American embassies there, but they're not America. You need to bring our troops home, protect our borders, and that money that you would have spent keeping up these embassies overseas, why don't we use that money to take care of the people here? Set up programs on a local level, programs that can help the people in the society get off these programs. That can help them become more self-dependent, more independent. Um, and if for some reason they have a condition where they cannot become independent, there should be programs in place for that. But it shouldn't be up to the government. That's not what their job is here for. That's not what we hired them for. Um, I could go on all night. I just hope somebody out there gets the message and takes a look at some of these videos that actually speak the truth. I didn't want to actually come on here and put my face on here, but I've made the decision to do so just to get the word out. I feel like some people aren't expressing it enough. I just hope that people can realize that we hired the government to be our bankers and our security. And like if I hired you to be my security and my accountant, and then in 10 years of working for me, you come to me one day and say, "Hey, sir, you got to quit smoking cigarettes, and that cable's got to go because it's really costing too much and it's not beneficial for you. So If you don't start listening up, I'm going to lock you up in the basement. Uh, I'm pretty sure I'd opt out of that contract. I'm pretty sure you would too. And that's the situation we're in with our government. We've made a contract with them. Believe it or not, the Federal Reserve's 100-year contract is expiring next year. Um, it's up for renewal. I don't think we should renew it. I think we need to leave them on their own if they want to continue the currency here, because they are a private organization. I believe we should let them do so, but I believe in what Ron Paul says. We need to go back to a gold silver standard. Um, we need to make a new currency and base it on a gold standard. If I have $20 worth of money, I should be able to go down to the bank and get my $20 worth of gold or silver if they're holding my money. And that's what Ron Paul believes in, I believe, is going back to a standard where our money's real, not counterfeit. Because I could take some markers and I could draw something up like this and say this is worth $50 right here. Doesn't mean anything. That's what our government's done. Our government's printed up a bunch of counterfeit money. When money first started out, each individual monetary note was worth its weight in silver or gold, and you could exchange it for such. But they've taken that out and they've taken that right off the bills, and now they just print counterfeit money. If you went in and tried to get gold, you would pay, I don't know what it is, 400, 800 times what it used to be. But gold really hasn't. I don't think gold's really done much. Like I heard Ron Paul say the other day, you could take a troy ounce of silver back in 1996 and you could purchase 4 gallons of gas, roughly 4 gallons of gas. And that ounce of silver probably, I'm guessing back then, would cost you about $6 or something to buy that ounce of silver. Nowadays, that ounce of silver is going to cost you like 16, 18 bucks, I would guess. But Ron Paul says you could buy 11 gallons of gas today on that same silver. Imagine if we were at a silver or gold standard still today, like we originally started out to be. Imagine how much more prosperous we'd be if we go down and take one silver dollar, buy a gallon of gas still. No, buy 11 gallons of gas instead of 4. We need to wake up, people. We need to do our research. Stop watching the mainstream media. I won't say stop watching it. Keep watching it. I want you to see this. Keep watching it. But I want you to do your research. Look on YouTube. Look on the internet. Google, Yahoo, Bing, whatever you can find. Research it. Look up delegate count 2012. Look up caucus fraud 2012. Look up mainstream media suppresses Ron Paul. It's all there. There's thousands of I think there's over 500,000 videos of Ron Paul on the internet right now. Mitt Romney, the supposed leader, the leader in the race here, he's got like I think it's 53,000 or 43,000 if I'm not wrong. 43,000 comparatively to 500,000. I think people are showing what they're interested in, and I think if we don't win the vote by the way it's always been done, by putting in our vote, and if they deny us our vote, I think we as a people need to set a plan and occupy the world. I think we need to, all Ron Paul supporters, everyone who believes that he should be in office, and everybody that understands how crucial it is and detrimental to our community and our country that Ron Paul makes it in the office this year. I think we need to set up an Occupy movement that is so big that it cannot be denied. And I think it needs to involve the media. It needs to involve private persons, corporate persons, the military, the private media, everything. Everyone needs to know. We need to somehow get the message to everyone. I don't care if it is just sending a letter to your neighbors, everyone on your street, um, just to look it up, asking them to just pass on the information to a friend if they don't want it. The information is out here, and us young people, we need to talk to the old people, because like my parents, I talk to them, and they have no idea what's going on. They see the media, they see a couple little snippets on the late nights about how, oh, Ron Paul this, and they really don't know too much about it. But then I show them some hard facts, and it's just like, wow, they're baffled, blown back at how we as a country are allowing this to happen. These big companies, they own the media, and then on top of that, they own food and drug industries. They own political parties. They own, overseas interests. They own a lot of different things. So when the things you see on the media, you need to realize are what is in the best interest of their whole organization. They're not going to tell you something that's going to bring them down. And I believe that Ron Paul is the thing that um, can help us Americans gain our freedom back. I believe that there's so many laws in place and restrictions and ordinances that are in violation of the Constitution, that they should be abolished, and we should go back to the Constitution. I look at the Constitution, and I look at the people who claim to uphold the Constitution, to make me sick. The Constitution says specifically what it stands for and what laws you can make. And if you do not make them laws to coexist with the Constitution, they should be cut off where they object to the Constitution. And that's where we're failing as a society. We're allowing these laws to stay in place and to continue to help these people gain financial power over us by limiting us to our actions and our movement, and it is insane. I think I've said enough. Hopefully somebody will watch this video and say, hey, maybe this guy makes some sense. Look at a couple of my videos. Most of my videos are reposts from other people. Um, Information that I just think is pertinent to what's going on in our country right now. I know that Tuesday is coming up, Super Tuesday, with the big votes going on. A lot of delegates being awarded, over 400, I hear. I think that if you're in a state that's taking part in Super Tuesday, you need to realize how serious it is that you get out and put in your vote to Ron Paul, and let everybody know. Let a friend know, let a neighbor know, find out who they're voting for. If they're voting for Ron Paul, let them know that they need to tell a friend too. They need to spread the message that we all need to network, and the resources are out here. All we have to do is use them. We've got the telephone, we've got the internet, and we've got everything that goes with it. So for us not to network and stand up against this tyranny is uncalled for. It's laziness on our part. We need to stand up, and yeah, I know it's hard to just call somebody and talk to them, but get on Facebook. That's so easy. I know a lot of you people that you get on Facebook, you can post stuff, post a comment, and ask people who they're voting for, and question them. Just give them some information. Share some information with them about what each of the delegates stand for. I've got some information on like Mitt Romney and Rick Santorum from 10 years ago that would blow your mind on some of their viewpoints and some of the things that they stand up for. Newt Gingrich, he's got some crazy viewpoints too. Ron Paul, he has stood true for 30 years, people. 30 years he said the same thing, and we've denied him the right to even stand up and talk. We've went against what he said, and we've failed miserably. How about we give this guy a chance and see where this goes? I think that we can do this, and we need to do this. Um, Ron Paul 2012. This is Alan King. I hope you guys get out and vote.